大家好，欢迎收听今天的离岛人，我是杨一真。This is Humans Offshore. Humans Offshore is a podcast show interviewing those who chose to leave their island, sharing our struggles, life, and experiences. If you like our show or have some cool friends who would like to share their story, please let us know on Facebook or Instagram, or a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts would be fantastic. 离岛人是一个以离开岛屿的人们为基础，用 Podcast 访谈提供离岛人们经验分享以及近况分析的平台。2018年年底开始到现在，在 Anchor FM、Apple Podcast、Google Podcast 和 Spotify 等各大平台上都可以收听。节目固定在各周日早上更新，欢迎大家在 FB、IG 上面追踪离岛人，来获得下集预告和离岛人的废话 murmur 更新。如果各位喜欢离岛人，也請幫離島人們到 Apple Podcast 的頁面上給離島人節目5顆星星，讓我們有繼續下去的動力。You know, okay. So, 大家好，其實呢，就是今天雖然說我現在是在講中文啦。不過其實我這一集的目的是打算做英文的節目，因為這個月就是離島人不是只有只講就是講中文的人才是離島人，因為這個世界上有100多個島，但是這個島其實講中文島其實說實在話硬講啦，好你說台灣、新加坡，然後還有哪裡沒了嘛，所以其實離島人不是只有講中文的族群而已，那我本來一開始也沒有只 target 就是講中文的族群。So from like this month, like Humans Offshore was targeting those who chose to leave their island, and there are hundreds of islands out there which only a pinch of them speaks like Mandarin-Chinese. So to serve those who does not speak Mandarin, this is your month. Bear with me and my Mandarin-Japanese accent English. At the moment, I wasn't planning on making this English until the night before recording this episode, actually. So anyway, this month's episode will be in English. So we're planning on making Japanese episodes as well. If any of you listening knew interesting humans offshore, please let us know. Like leave a comment on our website or like message us on Facebook, Instagram, or Line, whatever. We will get back to you as soon as I possibly could. So like the definition of an island, like for example, Taiwan is an island, Singapore is an island, Japan is an island, like United Kingdom, Iceland is also islands. And socially speaking, like Hong Kong is also an island. And today's guest is from Hong Kong.
Hello.
I met her at a private event through a friend and was overwhelmed by her idea and enthusiasm. Awarded with Creative Smart Young Design Talent Award 2017 by DFA HKYDTA, that was long. Sam was sponsored to travel and experience the design in Japan and will soon continue to her next destination, Netherlands. 符士汶，的广东话要怎么发音呢？
符士汶。
符士汶
Yes。
汉字的话是符士汶，so called as Sam. Fu was born on the island of Hong Kong, who was graduated from environment and interior design of the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. While in school, Sam was already interested in all kinds of social issues and would physically participate until 2014. Occupy Central erupt in September. Inspired by the discussion and power of people, Sam joined a social enterprise startup and put her life and energy into social design. So, what is social design? By the definition of Wikipedia, I copy-pasted it. And social design is a design that is mindful of designers' role and responsibility in society, and of use of the design process to bring about social change. Social design is also a critical discipline that challenges the pure market-orientedness of conventional design practice and attempts to see past this into a more inclusive conception of design, in which user groups who are marginalized are also given priority. So anyway, after all this, like, I know, whatever, I'm really interested in Sam's personal experience at Occupy Central, also the motivation behind her adventure and where she's heading. So please welcome spatial design and community designer, Fu Shi Man.
Hi, hello, I'm Fu Shi Man. Yes. It's kind of difficult to pronounce it.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Like, so can what's the correct pronunciation again?
English?
In Canton?
Cantonese is 富士汶.
Fujiman.
Maybe simply in like a Japanese pronunciation, Fuji. Same as Fuji is Fuji.
Fujiman. Okay,
Yes.
so you're like Fujiman. Like,
Yes, I'm Fuji-san.
that is actually kind of
Yes.
similar. So, would you like to tell us about, like, because I saw like your portfolio and which is you graduated from like social, how do I say, environment and interior design. Would you like to tell us why you wanted to go into that direction in the beginning?
In the beginning, it's like when I was 18, 19 years old. I was pretty bad in the school result and I didn't do well in the public examination. And design subject, we only have like 5 subjects. You only get pass. Then you have the admission, like the lowest standard to get into this university. So I applied because I need a bachelor, I need a degree.
Yes, of course.
Yes, so I just try, and very surprisingly, I get into this. And now I don't really understand. I don't really know why I get into the university. But after maybe 1 year,
Yes.
I realized maybe I have a little bit talent in this area to be a designer. So I continue for 5 to 6 years until now.
And then, so was that school like, because I heard that you were kind of into social like issues and stuff.
Yes.
Was that something you were already interested in when you're young, or like is that something you got influenced by in the school?
Or the earliest time I was influenced by my junior high school and high school, because we do have election in the school for the school union. So
Whoa.
I have a little bit like mindset about how to be the citizen, a correct citizen, or
Yes.
what is a democracy, and what is a responsibility of a citizen, and what we can do for the society. I have a little bit mindset. And until 2014, the Occupy Central, or we call the Umbrella Movement, or
Yes.
even someone called Umbrella Revolution. And I joined the demonstration for a month, sleeping on the street in Admiralty in the Hong Kong Island. So on the Hong Kong Island.
What brought you there? Like you saw it on the news, and what did you see which makes you want to go inside?
Well, first night we just have like a very big not a demonstration, just a gathering to question the government, and we want to ask for a reply from the government, and we have some like a sharing and stuff. And when I planned to leave at that time, and when I was go to toilet, and then suddenly people just bump into the center, and then we start the demonstration. I think in 1 minute or 2 minutes, that become a big mess, and then I was forced to stay there because no bus, and then people just rush into this area, and then it's midnight. And then I choose to stay and see what's happening there. And at that night, it was really a terrible night and a very, very long night. And then I saw the police. They use a pepper spray,
Yes.
and then to spray on people's on the face, because I'm so short, and then the guy next to me is pretty tall, and then he was hit by the police, and then some pepper spray was sprayed on my hand. It's so freaking painful. And then I just realized something. It's police should be protecting people instead of attacking people, because we did nothing wrong. We didn't hit anyone. We just asked for what we have, what we need, and then we are just fighting for something we deserve to have.
Yes.
But police force is just, they serve the government instead of serving the people.
Yes.
So I think this is very ridiculous, and then to me it's unacceptable. So I was staying there for a night and thinking what we can do more as a citizen, and also what a designer can do for this city to do more. I mean, to help the city move forward in any way, like in the social, in political, even
Yes.
in very simple, in education, everything we can do. Because I think everything it's about policy, and everything is related to art and design, because even the road, even the traffic light, it's a design.
Yes.
So we can do something. Even it's very small or just affect one people, that's enough. we need to do something. So I start to have a thought that maybe I can do something for the society. Then I start to think about what kind of thing I can do. So start my career.
It sounds like you got to be hit by a police to wake up.
Yes.
Because until then you just kind of accidentally run into the situation.
Yes.
And
then at that time, the student start the demonstration, and I was a student too. I don't really care about the school score or the anything.
You get passed anyway, whatever.
Yes, it's easy to get passed. You just fulfill some like criteria and you can get a pass. So I understand this game, so I just participate in this demonstration for a month. And at that time I don't do any homework, and my tutor, and she said, you guys didn't go to the school and you didn't do anything for this demonstration, just sit there, so maybe you can do something more. So me and my friend in the university, we just think about that. Maybe we should do homework on the street, but we have no tables, and then we have nothing, no chairs. Why don't we build something for this, and then let everyone, like us, the student, to do homework and to study in this demonstration?
So your professor actually kind of encourages you to go.
I do think so.
Like, she didn't try to stop you at anything. She just like, you guys maybe try to do something there.
Or and they think, as a designer, like we are like socially motivated, and we should do something with the like social innovation. We should do something for the society. So they just encourage us to do something more instead of sleeping there. Yes, because we cannot fight, and then I'm so scared to fight. We will die maybe.
And actually the purpose of people being there wasn't fighting. Like, you're
creating something for us, fighting something.
Like, fighting means like mentally fighting, not like physically fist
for
fight.
The policy.
Yes.
We are not good at fighting.
No, I don't think we are, but we should train for that actually.
No, more violence is okay, but at this moment we are not going for that way.
Yes,
we're not ready for that, of course. So I don't think the professor is stopping us to do something. Of course, they have the responsibility to ask us to hand in the homework.
Yes, that's
assignment.
their responsibility.
Yes, I understand, but just you can join the demonstration at the same time, do your assignment there. So we just built some tables and then chairs. Firstly, we just built seven tables and chairs. And then after 1 week, people were so surprised because someone doing something like very ridiculous. I would say very ridiculous because you were studying in the demonstration area, which
that's part of the life. Come on.
Yes, it's very surreal, really surreal. And then people just start building by themselves. They just, I don't know where, they found tables and like abundant wood from the trash station, and then they just build by themselves. Then I see the power of people, because we build something and we always do some like art design installation. If there's without people, I don't think there's any meaning for this kind of art or design, because you have to involve people and you have to give out some message.
Yes.
And then I think we did because we affect people or we motivate people to build something for themselves. And I see the power of engagement of people. If what we do engage some people, then we might change their mindset to build something by themselves.
So was that like what? Because after that you kind of run into like social design. Where did you catch the idea of going into social design? With this experience, or with like some friends?
Of course, I meet a friend that we are studying together, and then we meet a partner, which he already start the business. It's for like a social entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like for like motivate the society. But for me personally, I do think it's a responsibility of a designer we can do something, because I do really think that design can change the world. It's a very big concept, but
That's a good concept.
Well, the definition of change the world doesn't mean you need to change 100% of people. I think 50% or even 1% or 0.1%
1% is quite huge.
Yes, there's a lot of people in the world, even more than we expected. So even you can change like only 10 people, I think it's pretty enough. And our job, to me, I'm not like super creative people. I'm more like an organized, research-based and logical people. And I do think that if we can start something by ourselves, because we need to like we seek something for the future and do something for the future, and we can start something, and if we can affect people and people join us, or to be a stronger society, that's our responsibility. So if we can do something, like have a start, like doing something for the society, for our community, that can move this community forward, much forward than now, then it's worth to do that. So, and I'm young, why not to try something that...
That's why you're in Japan right now?
Yes, why not? I mean, we already stayed 24 years in Hong Kong, and then in like... You
just tell the public your age.
No,
if you don't mind.
No, I'm forever 21.
Okay.
Or forever 18.
18, you cannot smoke, you cannot drink, you cannot drive.
Then forever 21. That's better. I like alcohol. So, just come to Japan and see what's the difference in the world. I mean, on the other side of the world, because in Hong Kong, we are like always question about. I mean, in these 10 years, maybe we start to question what is Hong Kong people and what is our like nationality, and also what is our culture. We do have a lot of questions, and we just start the discussion. So, but Japan, they have a different world. They are very clear about what is Japanese, and it's very easy to say the Japanese culture, Japanese tradition, and they merge their tradition into the daily life, even they're highly modernized. But in Hong Kong, we are still seeking for that. So for me personally, I do really like to see what's the difference between these two cities, these two countries. Yes, to understand my city more. Yes.
So you kind of pay your way to Japan, or
pay like everything? Pay money? Oh no. I'm very luckily, really luckily, I got the award and sponsored by the DFA, our government. I think it's one of the government organizations for
That's
the
kind
design.
of funny that you protest the government and you get funded by the government.
Well, I paid the tax.
Around.
I think I paid the tax. And then I was like a little citizen in Hong Kong and very poor. And I don't have any chance to like going out. Because, you go overseas and you do need a lot of money to invest. Like the first month, second month, you need to pay a lot. And I don't have that money. So, and by chance, I just know this award could afford me a lot of money. Then I can live overseas in a happy way. Like I can drink pretty much, and I can travel, and I can talk to people, and give me like money to learn new language, to learn the culture. And so it's not a bad chance, not a bad thing. And I do think that's right. Yes.
Because I like according to what you just said, it gave you a lot of money to go. So was that like a really like a competitive situation, like for the whole award? Like what do you have to do to win that award?
I think first you have to be a designer, like under the age of 35, young designer. And I don't think I'm very outstanding, but maybe just different from people.
That sounds like outstanding, like in other like
just try
different and
maybe
outstanding.
I just there to do something which is with a high risk, and do something, because for like a community design, this criteria is very new in Hong Kong. Of course, for this organization, the marketing, I think they do want to have some new blood to like make this organization more interesting way. So they have to attract people, of course, And we do want to promote some social innovation design in Hong Kong. So I think I am like the first year or the second year to have this like a new criteria. So maybe I just think this is very lucky. If I join the competition this year, I believe I cannot get the award.
So for the award, when like for winning that award,
yes, with good presentation skill helps.
Like how much do you think it's luck, and how much do you think it's your own like intelligence, your own design? Like
I think like 50% it's the luck, and then because I was doing with a team, and the 14% it's with my team, like my previous company, because everything it's about a teamwork, and then I cannot do like anything by my own. Maybe just maybe 5% it's by my own, and then maybe 10% it's by my presentation skills. I do think a young girl, like a 4 years old girl, and then talk in front of those people, like very experienced designer, it's a kind of funny thing. And then talk about, I want to change the world. I want to use design skills to change the world. It's pretty impressive. So I make a good story. So yes, just 10% it's my personal charm. I do think like a very short 100
personal charm.
Yes, a very short girl talking in front of everyone with a big goal. It's pretty charm. Do you think so?
That's good that you have confidence in yourself.
But you know, it's very difficult. The first time I joined the competition, I don't really like the concept of competition.
Yeah.
Because I do think awards should be awarded by people, and they invite you instead of you ask for something. I'm not that kind of highly competitive people. I don't really.
But
like
you win
that.
the award anyway.
Yes, I win the award, and thanks to the Hong Kong government as well. They give me the award. I'm not against the government, but I do think we could do more,
like,
and the government should do more. Yes, I just use my skills to help the society move forward, and kind of criticizing this government. Yes, but the goal is help to move the society forward. Yes.
So does that, like, after winning the award, do they limit where, like, do they say you have to do certain things, or do you have to go certain place?
We do have a lot of need to hand in a lot of reports, and then we have to plan everything before we start our journey. And I choose Japan, choose 2 companies, and then I choose the Netherlands in Amsterdam. So I need to get their approval, and I need to plan everything. Yes, and after they get the approval, so I can go ahead with that. Yes, and should be related to my professional. Like I was graduate from the architectural interior design, so it has to be related to spatial and related to my career, like the community design. So they agree, then we can go ahead.
So where have you been in Japan, like company wise?
The first one is called. Can I say the name of the company?
Well, I think your boss speaks English. But I think if you only talk good things about him, it's a plus.
I understand. So true that I choose in Japan in Kanagawa prefecture.
Prefecture.
Right? Prefecture.
Maybe.
Ken is prefecture, right?
Like somebody can like correct us in this
cities, something like that. Anyway.
We'll just call it prefecture whatsoever.
Yes, and then in Kanagawa called Hibino Sekkei, and this is a company specializing in educational design, and it's for the school, like kindergarten, nursery, and the elderly center, the architecture for these public facilities. So I do want to know more about educational design, but because I don't think we have a very good educational design in Hong Kong, because our school only emphasize on the elite system. Of course, now there's a little bit change in the situation, and people try to emphasize about the educational thing. But I don't think anyone is. Maybe there are, but we don't really have a big chance or a lot of chances to do a school design, the architecture. So coming to here to learn the policy of Japan, of course, to know what's happening in this good country, and then to know what is the hardware which is good for the kids to grow up, because from 0 to 6 years old is the most important period for kids to grow up and to learn, because they are from the blank paper. They're just born from the blank, and then they know nothing. If they can know something from the hardware and plus the software, which is the educational policy, that helps their development like for a long time, or affect their maybe creativity, imagination, something like that. So to learn something like that, and I really hope to bring those concepts and what I learned back to Hong Kong to improve our educational design. Yes. A way to like change the world. Yes.
So you only went to Hibinoseke, or
No.
is there any other places?
Now I am working in a like social innovation design company, but basically we're doing product design and graphic design called Nozaina, also in Kanagawa, in Yokohama. Yes, but it's a kind of different design company, because more young people, and then we think very crazily and do something new and good for the society. Yes, like motivate, and we do have some personal project in this company, and we start to create something really for the, I think it's a new concept maybe for the school, also for Japan, also for the rest of the world, change the mindset of people. Yes, but I can't really talk about the project because they're not published yet.
I understand.
Yes. But I do experience a lot, like from like a traditional company and like a young generations company, and a lot of like ridiculous thing in Japan. And I do experience a lot and learn from the culture, which is pretty different from
What is the
ours.
most ridiculous thing in Japan, in your opinion, in your personal experience?
Sometimes I think it's about work, like people. The one of the ridiculous thing is I heard, and I really see it's the young no, I cannot say that. Like people, a lot of people in Japan, they dare not leave the company on time, and they dare not to speak out their opinion, because it's a kind of destroy the harmonious environment, which is, I think this is kind of difficult for me. When you see something really wrong, or you don't agree, or which is bad for the condition, the situation, I think you have to speak out instead of just tolerate and accept, because it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense, yes, to me. But I don't mean it's happened on my life, but it just happened to many of my friends. Yes.
I don't think it's right at the moment yet, but I think somehow I understand this, like why they did this, because for my personal belief, I think like life and work is kind of separated but kind of together. But
Why do you think that it's a separate?
Like you have your personal life, you have your family, you have your like you have your own interests, you want to do like hiking, whatever, and that is kind of separated from your work, for example, like design. But it's not that different, because when you go out there, you still see things that you think you can change, that maybe we can do this design better, maybe we can do that better, maybe we can use this as an inspiration for the project. And so it's kind of different, but it's kind of together, just like depends on how you want it to be.
Merging.
But in Japan, in my understanding, I think they believe that the life and work is one thing. Like work is their life. So they think that they contribute everything to their life, which is work. And so they don't like it, like there's, I don't think it's wrong. Like I think it's right. In like if they believe it in this way and then they would love to do it in this way, it's okay. But I don't think it's a good thing to force everybody else on this island to believe that is the only way, because like you get to have choices of people, and there are so many people who doesn't really care about work. They just want a salary, and they want to go travel, they want to go have fun,
they earn
want
the
to do
salary to have their life.
So like
bad.
I think there should be a choice for either way. And then so for like as a like you can choose the company you work in to choose the lifestyle you wanted. And I think that's just the way it is.
I think the bad is you do have a choice. If you choose to live in that way, that's no problem.
Yes,
but sometimes you don't agree this kind of lifestyle, but you still continue this kind of lifestyle and you complain all the time. That is ridiculous to me.
I think that's an issue because you chose it. And of course I complain about whatever this is right now, but because I chose to come here in the first place. So even though I complain, but it's like I chose it, and I knew what it's gonna be like before I came. So it's just like when you're in a situation, you cannot help it. You have to say something. But for those who are like in that situation and complains all the time and doesn't want to do anything about it, I think
and
that's
they
a problem.
know they can do something, but they didn't do that. They didn't take any action.
Yes, I think that's kind of bad problem. So, but
life is hard.
Yes,
I do think life is really hard.
Our show is also like to let people know that if you don't want to do what you're doing right now, you can always shift. You can always go to other countries. You can also like work in holiday, whatever, win and design award, and you can go
take a rest. Or just take a rest and then find your interest in your life.
If you have kids, that's another thing. But if you don't have kids or family, like
I don't have a kid yet, so I don't know the life of that.
Figure it out before you have kids. Yes. Or like wife or husband, like
try something new before you have a husband or a wife or a kid. Just don't have a kid too early, maybe.
Well, sometimes it's accident.
Well, nothing in the world is accident, you know. There is some product
you kind of chose it.
Really good product to prevent a baby coming to the world, right?
That's kind of another hot issue in Taiwan at the moment.
Yeah, that's why we need product design, good product design.
Okay, that's stop right there.
Okay, that's too much.
That's... Anyway, so you have... How long have you been in Japan?
Now it's around 8 to 9 months.
And are you planning on going somewhere else after this?
Next month, I will go back to Hong Kong to do some work. And then in March, I will go to Netherlands to do another job.
What is that also the design job? What is the the cat?
It's more about my personal interests. I do love fabric and I do
fabric design.
Yes, fabric to do some design like home furniture or because I'm come from the interior design, so I believe fabric is a very important material in the future to do the interior design, especially the exhibition. Because fabric, there's a thick fabric, the sound absorbing fabric, and then there's like a UV protecting something, and then everything we can do with the fabric, and we can use fabric to divide the space and to design the pathway of people. So fabric is a pretty good material, and I do love because when I was young, my mother, because I'm so short, and then my clothes I need to change the size, and I need to do the tailor sewing thing, and I help my mom. So I think it's because of my personal experience. I do love to use fabric or to use a sewing machine. I do like that mechanism. Like it's a very healing to me. And also from my experience, few years, and then we use fabric to design some products, and then use to like more sustainable way. So fabric, it's I believe it's very important material in the future. And in the Netherlands, the company, they use fabric to do architectural space, and they have the department called curtain designer, which is very new to me because we do have a lot of fabric company, we do have a lot of textile designer, but using fabric as a important main material to define the space, it's kind of a new thing and quite interesting to me. So I do love to learn something from this company using the fabric, using the textile.
Speaking of fabric design or texture design, there's a good friend of our boss. She is also a texture designer, and she also work with the famous architect Toyo Ito-san. And her name
Yoko Ando?
Yes, it's Yoko Ando.
I really love her.
Yes.
Yes.
And anyway, so I was like, you can check her out, but since you already know her, but she's really cool. And then there was once she came into our office and then do a small lecture about what she'd been working on.
Can I join next time?
Like, I don't think there's a next time, but
Oh,
but like, because that's like
yes,
it's like
that's cool.
a small lecture thing for the office only.
Mm.
But anyway, it was really cool that she
Yes.
is developing all kinds of material and like you ways of using them, and it actually kind of become a part of the architectural space. And
Yes.
if you pull it off, it's totally different.
It's a different space.
Yes,
I
it's
mean,
still
it affects the
different.
lights, shadows, and the atmosphere, and they create everything.
So if any of you interested, like her name is Anto Yoko. If you use like kanji, it's Andong Yangzi. Yang 是太阳的阳. Please check it out.
Yes.
And then
It's a really nice one.
yes.
But I want to apply that, but my Japanese is so bad.
No, come on, she's really nice.
I would try. Maybe I should try after Netherlands. I should try going back to Japan and work for more because I do love Japan pretty much. It's quite comfortable living here. Very clean, and then with good salary, and then high living standard.
Good salary compared to Hong Kong.
I think it's similar.
Is it?
Similar. I mean, everything you have to fight for yourself, right? If
Oh,
you
okay.
dare to speak, and then you can ask your boss, "Oh, I don't think this is reasonable salary to me. Can you like raise a bit?" You can talk to that. I do meet some good boss. Yes. So not
Okay,
bad.
that's stop right there because my boss speaks English. And anyway, anyway, so after all these travel and like learning, experiencing, do you have any plans in mind for the future?
Yes, I do love to do something for the education, especially for Hong Kong. So I will have a like small program. The name is Service and Learning Program for my university, for the design student and for the engineering student to do a little project in Japan, which I do think Japan's situation is more similar to Hong Kong because we are more advanced city and we do have some policy which is for the citizen, and we do have some same situation like typhoon. We have the disaster,
Yeah.
and then if we can learn something in the advanced city, then we can adopt this kind of like what we learn we can adopt into Hong Kong situation, and then we can improve our city much more than now. Yes, so it will be a community design program for the student, and of course I think we just start the social design, community design course last year in Hong Kong, which is pretty late. And another country, they already start for 10 years, like sustainable social design already start 10 years. We are very late. So I want to like push a bit. And I do have some connection in Japan that can help to create this program. So I will have like 13 students come with me to do community design in the very rural area in Japan, and we do something for the farmers and for the local craftsmen to promote their products to different areas, especially to the city. So we will have some collaboration with Japan too. Yes.
And it was approved by the school.
Yes, and the school, I'm very lucky the school approved that, because school is a really like suck thing. They have a lot of like
Administration,
troublesome thing, and then
meetings,
we have the hand-in, to explain them,
paperwork.
because there's some people are really conservative and we need to
Persuade them.
Yes, persuade them in a different way. But I do think this time they did a good job. Yes, yes, they're more open-minded now, I think. So they agree our proposal, so we can go in June this year, June, for 1 or 2 weeks. Yes, still we are designing the program, but we have the big structure, big direction was already fixed, so we can go ahead.
So, like, after all these, like, experiences and stuff, are you planning to, like, continue your career on the island of Hong Kong, or are you planning on going somewhere else after all these?
I do want to contribute my city, because this is where I come from. I do love my city very much because this is my home. But if there's chance in the rest of the world, I don't mind to go there. But at the end, I think I will go back to Hong Kong. Like what I learned outside, I will just teach, or I will just use the knowledge I have and to design something in Hong Kong. Yes. Or maybe I can be a bridge, like to connect people all over the world. Yes. And finally we can do something together, because always I think design is a business model or a community design. What we do, the project or the program, is the model that we can use this model to do in the rest of the world. Like this community program, we can do something similar in Taiwan or something similar in Hong Kong, even in China, but it's always come from I'm always back to Hong Kong, like bringing the student to do something or asking the student to contribute. So always back to there. I do love to go back to Hong Kong, but if the situation change, political situation change a lot, maybe I will have another thought. Now I don't know yet. Yes, in the future, or in the 2047 when we go back to China, I don't know. Don't know yet, but at this moment I do love to come back. Yes, sometimes maybe after 5 years, 10 years, I don't know yet. Yes.
So after all these I understand that your journey is not ended at the end yet, but if there are people who are like thinking about going somewhere or doing something but they are not there yet, do you have any advice for them, or do you have any
Well, try your best to save as much as money you can, but I think going out, if you have a proper job in the overseas country, it anyway can support your life, and you don't need that much money, and language is not a big problem, especially like going to someone which is pretty advanced. Like my Japanese is really bad, and I think I cannot really talk and I cannot really speak, but I survive.
But you understand.
And wow, I spent 9 months here to learn and then to understand, and every time like an idiot to ask people, what does it mean? Can you teach me something? What is this? And then I just learn by in a short period, not short, pretty long time, but by experience. But if you are young without a family, I do recommend people go outside to see the rest of the world, because everyone you meet and everything you see, it's kind of a shock, and then you do question about yourself, because when you're going alone, you have no choice. You have to go forward. You cannot go backward, because there's
you have to decide at that moment. You have to do things yourself.
For yourself. So you're gonna think about your life and think about what you have in the past and what you can do in the future. So it's a pretty good experience. Just no matter how long, maybe just 1 month, 3 months, or a year, 10 years, you always learn something, and you're always happy. I think I'm always happy. I'm happy that I choose in Japan, even though there are lots of difficulties. Still, I'm happy. Yes, like talking some bullshit, but not bad. Yes.
Is there anything you want to emphasize?
Is that a lot of people want to go outside, in fact?
Well,
offshore.
I am not sure actually, but I would say that a lot of people want to go, but they would say, we're not, I don't speak good English, we don't have money, and I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do, but they want to go somewhere.
Just do it, I would say. Because, go to Japan, you don't need to spend a lot. Like travel, maybe 1 week, you can stay in a very cheap hotel, you can find a sofa hostel, even you can, if you want, you can sleep outside the station.
It's safe.
Yes.
If
do something
if for guys,
cheap.
It's totally safe. For female, I think it's
if you are not drunk, you're safe.
Yes.
Yes, and you're shouting. If you're there to shout, then you are safe in Japan. So to experience doesn't cost a lot, and then in your life maybe you just spend maybe 5,000, maybe 10,000 Taiwanese dollar, maybe 10,000.
Well, like the airline ticket, it's like 3,000, 4,000, depends on the season.
And you can just catch the very cheap flight ticket, then you can go. I think it's doesn't cost much.
Bring a skateboard with you, or like
or just take a rest. If you just take a rest, then it doesn't cost much, and you are not seeking for a very luxury journey, then it works. And then once you experience something outside, and you can, I don't know, but every time I go out alone and I find something for myself, like my life, so it's not bad. I do think in Hong Kong a lot of people want to do that. I want to work outside because some friend really talked to me that, oh, I'm very jealous because you can work outside. But of course, I think it's because of my job. Design is more flexible.
Yeah.
Yes, it's more flexible and I'm not an architect, so I don't need to really have the license. Then I just need to talk and then have an interview and send my portfolio. That's easier, but it doesn't mean no other job is very difficult. Yes. So just do it, and because you are young, I mean, even if you're 30, 40, you can still do that. Yes, just get the agree of your family, like a good communication.
Yeah.
Then you can do that.
Yeah, because because our show, it's kind of like about humans offshore who are not like on like who are not currently on like where they're born, or like who used to be aboard.
Yes.
Like that's my next target. like who was outside for like maybe like I don't know 3 years, 5 years, and then went back to contribute to the society that they were born with.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of people like that.
yes,
and
that's why we can. I don't think we can end this show anyway. Like we have endless topics and endless people we can interview.
Everyone got their own story.
Yes, and I think that's interesting because, like it's. I think you're like 15. Like it's only like 15 or like 20 people I've interviewed, but I figured that there's one thing that is really important, which is like positivity. Like so there are some people who doesn't really know what to do, doesn't really know what they want, doesn't really have any money, doesn't really care, or like restrictions. They don't worry about it. They just want to do something and then they go for it, and they believe that everything will be all right. They're positive, like they're positive.
The world is not that difficult, even though the life is hard, but it's not that hard, right?
Yes. So for those who are like usually worrying about like English, money, or like if is it safe, I would want to let them know that even though you prepare nothing and you're not from that,
or even
like,
you're well prepared, you still face a lot of difficulties.
Yes, like and if you don't go out there, you never know what to prepare. Like you can only read, like for example, you can listen to our show, you can check on the blogs people wrote, but you're not there and you never know what's gonna happen. And then once you are in that situation, you know what, like you have to figure something out, and after that you will gain more confidence about making decisions by yourself. And you can challenge yourself once more and once more. And I think that's like that is not just like going aboard. Like even though if you stay on where you're born, like you still face a lot of challenges, but
and those challenges is not a bad thing. Challenge your life. It's kind of interesting because you have to do a lot of problem solving. Which is exhausting. I would say it's difficult sometimes, and sometimes very tired, but at the end, if you solve any of those problems, you are very satisfied, right?
Yes.
Still, I think every day I'm facing so many problems with the Japanese. And
for example,
like a language problem, and
I think that's
a big problem, really big problem. And sometimes I don't really know what happened. Like on the bus, I told you. On the bus, someone just scolded at me, and I don't know anything. Like, what's wrong with me? I'm just looking at reading the Facebook and listening to my own music, and then someone just shouted at me, and I don't really understand.
They're just retarded.
Yes, I think just some like crazy people, but it's nothing bad. It's an experience, and I was pretty scared because I was scared that he fight me, but now I'm pretty good.
No, it happens all the time. I was like, there was
and
one
cultural differences. I knew of food. And even in a winter time, they serve the really ice water. And they always eat salad for the vegetables. You know, I'm not really get used to that. And then they eat sashimi for the breakfast sometimes.
Who?
I don't know.
Who exactly eats sashimi for breakfast?
And then they just like maybe lunchtime, like my company, that we go to have sashimi sushi in the lunchtime.
Like lunch is okay, like
yeah,
breakfast.
but no, sometimes lunch is my breakfast.
Okay.
That's pretty bad. I mean, food, culture, the weather also. Also the weather.
It's dry.
It's dry and then so freaking cold. Wow, I'm come from Hong Kong. Now Hong Kong is like 20 degrees, like so cold here. And then sometimes like snowing. That's so cold. Yes. But it's fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
when we
fun.
talk to our granddaughter, it's a pretty unique experience. It's pretty cool. Like, well, hey, your grandmother go to Japan and survive for many years.
And he'll be like, I've been to Mars.
Wow, maybe to somewhere that we don't really know. Well, that's another story for our grandson. But nothing bad to go out, I would say. Nothing bad. You just spend your life.
Are you
Something
always have you like I understand that you you want to do social design after the Occupy Central, but have you always want to go abroad, or do you always thinking about going somewhere outside of Hong Kong?
Yes.
Like-
For me, even though I say I want to contribute to Hong Kong, but personally, I do love to work in different places because I do like to talk to people and learn the culture and learn the languages. So working for maybe for 20 years time, my dream is to work in different places. Maybe few years change one place and few years to go to another place. And of course, I think for me, if even I have a kid, I can bring her or him to go to other country and study together. I don't mind that if my husband agree, my future husband. Like who is it? I don't know who is it, but I can recruit someone
Any
here.
candidate?
Recruitment here. Yes, but it's my little dream.
Recruitment here. So if anybody who's interested, you can go to
Yes, going together.
www where
www.
like Facebook
I don't really have a good. I will build a website for recruitment. Now from now on, tomorrow I will send you the link.
I thought you were just gonna say like on Tinder and Google like
I don't know.
Tinder.
This is too advanced. I don't know how to use that app. I'm really old-fashioned style grandmother.
No.
But it's a small street. It's a small dream. More maybe because my family is not that rich, so we don't have a really good chance to go to somewhere else and work. We travel a bit. Yes, and maybe we see a lot of foreigners working in Hong Kong. That I really want to experience the life and living alone. Yes, because our house is pretty small and everyone just
It's Hong Kong.
very crowded. Yes, it's Hong Kong style. And if I have a chance to live alone and to learn how to be independent, that's pretty important in my life. Yes, but after almost a year, I will say it's not that difficult. It's funny, but sometimes feeling a little bit boring. Yes, because you're alone, and sometimes I want to go back too, but I do want to explore more in the rest of the world. Yes, because every day I find something new, and everything very surprised, and everything very shock. So that's a kind of adventure in the life. Yes.
So here is it for today. So if any of you who are interested in this recruit or
join my journey, like doing community design in the world.
please contact
Let's go
her.
together. Well, I'm not very super professional, but we can learn together, of course. Yes, learning together, or we do something together. Yes, and internationally, that's okay. Yeah, I know 4 languages. If you know more, let's do together. Do that.
Yeah, like this our show Humans Offshore now is kind of like we're mainly Mandarin-Chinese, but we will try to do an English and a Japanese episode. So
Yes.
if any of you heard this far, please contact me, like, because we really want to do something like different, because we want to know, like, because we're all from different backgrounds. And even though like for the episodes before that we were from the same background, but because we're doing different things, and so we still have different we still even though it's the
many
same stuff, we
directions.
still have think about different stuff about it. And so if we having different backgrounds, I believe that would be more interesting
Yes.
to talk about like our experiences and our interest. So please let us know if you're interested in sharing your own experiences, your own adventure, your ideas. Okay, so thank you guys for today.
Thank you. So see you. Bye bye.
Baby, can you say something like in Cantonese, like introduce yourself and then like bye bye in Cantonese?
Introduce myself.
Like
Okay.
just like the short sentence, like my name is blah blah blah, and then
do you want to say for yours?
Like no, like yours. Like
for me,
so,
okay.
like my name is blah blah blah. I'm a
Okay,
social
okay.
designer. Thank you for listening to today's show, and then Cantonese, like it's all
Thank you
Cantonese.
for listening to this show. I don't know this.
Like in Cantonese.
In Cantonese.
Don't do anything out there.
OK。Hello， 大家好，我叫符士汶，係嚟自香港嘅社區設計師，喺日本生活咗9個月，喺呢度接受一個訪問，我覺得好開心，好有趣啦。咁希望大家多多收聽。Thanks for listening. Yes.
Yeah.
多多收聽呢一個節目，同埋如果大家對呢個節目非常有興趣嘅話，就留個言或者介紹下你自己，甚至乎自薦自己嚟呢個節目都可以㗎。I was asking them to introduce themselves if they are interested.
Yes,
contact you.
Please, but
Yes.
please type in English, not Cantonese. I don't really.
And we do type Chinese.
Whichever, but I don't really speak Cantonese. I'm so sorry.
No problem. I can help you to do some translation from Cantonese to Mandarin. No problem.
感谢大家收听今天的离岛人，我是杨英珍。This is Humans Offshore。